Advanced Physiology for third semester medical students. Cardiovascular system physiology. The cardiovascular system consists of three main components: the heart, blood vessels, and blood. These components work together to transport oxygen, nutrients, hormones, and waste products throughout the body, while maintaining homeostatic balance. Cardiovascular physiology covers how these organs function, how they interact with each other, and how the body's mechanisms regulate blood flow, blood pressure, and heart function. Heart. The heart is the main organ responsible for pumping blood throughout the body. The physiology of the heart is heavily influenced by electrical conduction mechanisms and regulation that allow for coordinated heartbeats. A. Cardiac conduction system. SAW node, sinoatrial node. The natural pacemaker that initiates the electrical impulses for heart contraction. The SAW node generates electrical impulses automatically due to the movement of ions, Na, Ka, and Ca squared, creating action potentials in the pacemaker cells. AV node, atrioventricular node. After the impulse reaches the AV node, there is a slight delay that allows the atria to empty blood into the ventricles before the ventricles contract. After the delay, the electrical impulse is transmitted to the His bundle. His bundle and Purkinje fibers, these conduct impulses throughout the ventricles, causing coordinated myocardial, heart muscle, contraction. This contraction is essential for efficient blood pumping. B. Heart rate regulation. Autonomic nervous system. The sympathetic and parasympathetic systems regulate the heart rate. Sympathetic system increases heart rate and the strength of heart contractions by releasing hormones such as adrenaline. Parasympathetic system slows the heart rate through the release of acetylcholine. Frank Starling law states that the more blood that returns to the heart, preload, the stronger the heart's contraction. This allows the heart to adjust to the amount of blood entering it. Relation to the heart, as the main pump, heavily relies on electrical conduction for coordinated heartbeats and regulation to match the body's needs, whether at rest or during activity. Blood vessels. Blood vessels are networks that carry blood from the heart to the body. Arteries bring blood back to the heart. Veins and allow for the exchange of gases, nutrients, and waste products at the capillary level. A. Microcirculation, capillary, and gas exchange. Capillaries are the smallest blood vessels where gas exchange, oxygen and carbon dioxide, nutrient exchange, and waste removal occur. Oxygen moves from the blood to the tissues, while carbon dioxide moves from the tissues to the blood to be transported back to the lungs. Fick's law explains the diffusion of gases, the concentration gradient of gases, capillary surface area, and the thickness of the capillary wall affect how quickly gases can move between blood and tissues. B. Blood pressure regulation. Vascular resistance, total peripheral resistance. TPR affects blood pressure. TPR increases when blood vessels constrict, vasoconstriction, and decreases when blood vessels dilate, vasodilation. Hormones like angiotensin II, adrenaline, and aldosterone play roles in blood pressure regulation by affecting the diameter of blood vessels. For example, angiotensin II causes vasoconstriction, which raises blood pressure. C. Blood flow regulation. Veins contain valves that ensure blood flows in one direction and prevent backflow, especially in the lower extremities. Capillaries in organs like the brain, kidneys, and liver have selective structures that allow controlled exchange between blood and tissues. Relation to blood vessels. Blood vessels, especially capillaries, facilitate gas and nutrient exchange, while arteries and veins control blood flow and blood pressure to ensure the body receives adequate oxygen and nutrients. The regulation of blood vessel diameter also helps control blood distribution to organs that need it. Blood. Blood is the fluid that contains various components essential for supporting body functions, such as oxygen, nutrients, and cells involved in body defense and clotting. A. Blood composition. Red blood cells, erythrocytes, transport oxygen from the lungs to tissues and carry carbon dioxide back to the lungs. White blood cells, leukocytes, involved in defending the body against infections. Platelets, thrombocytes, play a role in blood clotting to prevent bleeding. Plasma functions as a transport medium for nutrients, hormones, and waste products. B. Blood clotting physiology. When blood vessels are injured, platelets aggregate at the injury site and form a scaffold for the clot. Together with plasma proteins like fibrinogen, they form a blood clot that stops bleeding. Blood coagulation involves a series of chemical reactions that cause fibrinogen to convert into fibrin, which forms a clot mesh. Relation to blood. Red blood cells ensure efficient oxygen transport, while platelets and plasma are involved in body protection through blood clotting mechanisms and transporting other vital substances. Physiological regulation of the cardiovascular system. Various body mechanisms play a role in regulating efficient blood circulation, including responses to changes in body position, physical activity, or stress conditions. A. Physiological response to physical activity. During exercise, the body requires more oxygen, and the heart increases cardiac output, the volume of blood pumped per minute, to meet this demand. Blood flow is directed more towards the active muscles. Blood vessels dilate in the active muscles to increase blood flow, while blood vessels in other organs may undergo vasoconstriction. B. Effect of body position. When a person stands, gravity causes a drop in blood pressure in the upper body. The body responds by increasing heart rate and constricting blood vessels, vasoconstriction, to maintain stable blood pressure and blood flow to the brain. C. Autonomic nervous system and its effect on the heart. The sympathetic system increases heart activity, heart rate and stronger contractions, when the body is under stress or physical activity. The parasympathetic system slows the heart rate when the body is at rest or in recovery. Relation to the cardiovascular system. The regulation by the autonomic nervous system and hormones helps the body adjust to various physiological conditions, such as exercise, stress, or changes in body position. Conclusion. The physiology of the cardiovascular system involves the harmonious working of the heart, blood vessels, and blood to ensure the body receives enough oxygen and nutrients while removing waste products. Mechanisms regulating the heart, blood vessels, and blood composition play crucial roles in maintaining body homeostasis and responding to various physiological conditions.